Hare Krishna.
Haribo.
Jaya Ram Madhava Jaya Kunja Bihari
Jaya
Jaya
Radha Madhava Jaya Kunja Bihari
Jaya Radha Madhava Jaya Kunja Bihari
Jaya Radha Madhava Jaya Kunja Bihari
Jaya Gopi Jana Vallabha Jaya Girivaradari
Jai Gopi Janavallabha Jaya Girivaradari
Yashodanandana Brajajana Ranjana
Yashodanandana Brajanaranjana
Yashodanandana Brajajana Ranjana
Yashodanandana Brajanaranjana
Yamuna Tira
Yamunatira Manachari
Yamuna Tira
Yamunatira Manachari
Hare Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Hare Rama 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 Hare Hare
Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare
Hare Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare Rama Rama Hare
Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare
Hare Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hare Rama Hare Rama
Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare
Hare Krishna Hare
అక్కడనే
Krishna
ఉంటా
Krishna Krishna
బా
Hare 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 Rama Hare Rama 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 Hare Hare
Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare
Hare Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Hare Rama Rama
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Gaurani
Jaya Gaurani Jai, Jaya Gaurani Jai, Gaurani Jai, Jaya Gaurani Jai.
Gauranitai Jaya Gauranitai Gauranitai Jaya Gauranitai
Gauranitai Jaya, Gauranitai, Gauranitai Jaya, Gauranitai.
Jaya Jaya
Prabhupada Jaya, Prabhupada, Prabhupada Jaya, Prabhupada.
Gurudev Jaya Jaya Jai Gurudev
Jai Gurudev Jaya, Gurudev, Jai Gurudev Jaya, Jaya Gurudev.
Gurudev Jaya Jaya Jai Gurudev Gurudev Jaya Jaya Jai Gurudev
Jai Gurudev Jaya, Gurudev, Jai Gurudev Jaya, Gurudev.
Nitai Gaura Hari Bol Hari Bol Hari Bol Nitai Gaura Hari Bol
Nitai
Hari
Gaura
Bol
Haribo,
Hari
Haribo,
Bol
Haribo,
Hari
Nitai
Bol
Gaura
Gaura
Haribo.
Hari
Haribo.
Bol श्री गौरनिताय की जय श्रील प्रभुपाद की जय
Jai.
निताय गौर
Jai.
प्रेमानंद हरि हरि बोल
Hari Hari Bol.
Hare Krishna. Good morning. Thank you all
Hari
for
Krishna.
joining this morning Śrīmad-Bhāgavatam session. We are reading from Canto 4, Chapter 30, text number 6. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya.
Om Namo
Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya.
Vasudevaya.
Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya.
Om Namo Bhagavate
Vasudevaya.
Vasudevaya.
Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya.
Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya.
Narayanam Namaskrutyam
Narayanam Namaskrityam.
Naram Chaiva Narottamam
Naram Chaiva Narottamam.
Devim Saraswatim Vyasam
Devim Saraswatim Vyasam.
Tato Jayam Udirayet
Tato Jayam Mudirayet.
Nasta Prayeshu Abhadreshu
Nashtaprayeshu abhadreshu.
Nityam Bhagavata Sevaya
Nityam Bhagavata Sevaya.
Bhagavati Uttama Sloke
Bhagavati Uttama Shloke.
Bhakti Bhavati Naistiki
Bhaktir Bhavati Nashtiki.
Krishnaya Vasudevaya
Krishnaya Vasudevaya.
Devaki Nandanaya Cha
Devaki Nandanaya Cha.
Nanda Gopakumaraya
Nanda Gopakumaraya.
Govindaya Namo Namaha.
Govindaya Namo Namaha.
Today's verse. Kashishnuna Kanakavarna Vibhushanena
Kashishnana Varna
Nagavana
Vibhushanena.
Vibhushanena.
Kashishnuna Kanakavarna Vibhushanena
Kashishnuna कनकवर्णविभूषणेन
भ्राजत् कपोलवदनो विलसत्किरीटः
भाजत् कपोलवदनो विलसित किरीटः
भ्राजत् कपोलवदनो विलसत्किरीटः
भ्राजत् कपोलवदनो विलसित किरीटः
अष्टायुधैरनुचरैर्मुनिभिः सुरेन्द्रैर्
अस्यायुधे
अष्टायुधैर्
सुरेन्द्रे
मुनिभिः सुरेन्द्रैर्
अष्टायुधैरनुचरैर्मुनिभिः सुरेन्द्रैर्
अष्टायुधैर् अनुचरैर्
सुरेन्द्रे
मुनिभिः सुरेन्द्रैर्
आसेवितो गरुडा किन्नरगीतकीर्तिः
आसेवितो गरुड किन्नर गीतकीर्तिः
गीतकीर्तिः
आसेवितो गरुडा किन्नरगीतकीर्तिः
आसीवितो
आसेवितो
गरुडा
गरुड किन्नर गीतकीर्तिः
गीतकीर्तिः
काशिष्णुना कनकवर्णविभूषणेन
आशिष्णुना कनकवर्णविभूषणेन
भ्राजत् कपोलवदनो किरीटः
भ्राजत् कपोलवदनो विलसत्किरीटः
अष्टायुधैरनुचरैर्मुनिभिः सुरेन्द्रैर्
अष्टायुधैरनुचरैर्मुनिभिः सुरेन्द्रैः
आसेवितो गरुडा किन्नरगीतकीर्तिः
आसेवितो गरुड किन्नर गीतकीर्तिः
Anyone would like to recite?
काशीनुना कनकावरणा विभूषणेन
काशिष्णुना कनकवर्णविभूषणेन
भ्राजत्कपोलवदनो विलसत्किरीटाः
भ्राजत् कपोलवदनो विलसत्किरीटिः
अष्टायुधैरनुचरैर्मुनिभिः सुरेन्द्रैर्
अष्टायुधैरनुचरैर्मुनिभिः सुरेन्द्रैः
आशीवितो गरुडा किन्नरगीतकीर्तिः
आसेवितो गरुड किन्नर गीतकीर्तिः
हरे कृष्ण Yes, Mataji, please go ahead.
काशिष्णुना कनकवर्णविभूषणेन
आशिष्णुना कनकवर्णविभूषणेन
भ्राजत् कपोलवदनो विलसत्किरीटः
भ्राजत् कपोलवदनो विलसत्किरीटः
अष्टायुधैरनुचरैर्मुनिभिः सुरेन्द्रैः
अष्टायुधैरनुचरैर्मुनिभिः सुरेन्द्रैः
आसेवितो गरुडकिन्नरगीतकीर्तिः
आसेवितो गरुडकिन्नर गीतकीर्तिः काशिष्णुना कनकवर्णविभूषणेन
काशिष्णुना कनकवर्णविभूषणेन
भ्राजत् कपोलवदनो विलसत्किरीटः
भ्राजत् कपोलवदनो विलसत्किरीटः
अष्टायुधैरनुचरैर्मुनिभिः सुरेन्द्रैर्
अष्टायुधैरनुचरैर्मुनिभिः सुरेन्द्रैर्
अष्टायुधैरनुचरैर्मुनिभिः सुरेन्द्रैः आसेवितो गरुडकिन्नरगीतकीर्तिः
आसेवितो गरुडा किन्नरगीतकीर्तिः
आसेवितो गरुडकिन्नरगीतकीर्तिः
आसेवितो गरुडकिन्नरगीतकीर्तिः
आसेवितो
आसेवितो गरुडकिन्नरकीर्तगीतिः काशिष्णुनो
काशिष्णुना
कनकवर्णविभूषणेन
कनकवर्णविभूषणेन
व्रजत्कपोलवरनो विलसत्किरीटः
भ्राजत्कपोलवदनो
भ्राजत्कपोलवदनो
विलसत्किरीटः
विलसत्किरीटः
हस्ते
अष्टायुधैरनुचरैर्मुनिभिः सुरेन्द्रैः
अष्टायुधैरनुचरैर्मुनिभिः
आसीवितो गरुडकीर्तिः
आसेवितो गरुड किन्नरगीतकीर्तिः
गरुडकिन्नरगीतकीर्तिः
Word-to-word meanings. Oh, see the screen. Yeah. Kashishnuna,
काशिष्णुना
shining.
shining
Shine,
Kanaka,
कनक
Kanaka,
gold.
gold
gold,
Varna,
वर्ण
Varna,
colored.
colored
colored,
Vibhushanena,
विभूषणे
Vibhushanena,
with ornaments.
with ornaments
with ornaments,
Brajat,
भ्राजत
Rajat,
shining.
shining
shining,
Kapola,
कपोल
Kapola,
forehead.
forehead
forehead,
Vadanaha,
वदनः
Vadanaha,
his face.
his face
his face,
Vilasat,
विलसत्
Vilasat,
dazzling.
dazzling
dazzling,
Kiritaha,
किरीटः
Kiritaha,
his helmet.
his helmet
his helmet,
Asta,
अष्ट
Ashta,
8.
8
eight,
Ayudaihi,
आयुधैः
Ayuday,
with weapons.
with weapon
with weapons,
Anucharaihi,
अनुचरैः
Anucharay,
by followers.
by followers
by followers,
Munibihi,
मुनिभिः
Munibhi,
by great sages.
by great
by
sages
great sages,
Sura Indraiha,
Sura
Sura Indra,
by demigods.
by demigod
by demigods,
Asevitaha,
असेवितः
Ashevitaha,
served.
served
served,
Garuda,
गरुड़
Garuda,
by Garuda.
by गरुड़
by Garuda,
Kinnara,
किन्नर
Kinnara,
inhabitant of Kinnara planet.
inhabitants of
inhabitant of the Kinnar planet,
Gita,
गीत
Geet,
Sang,
Sang,
Kirtihi,
कीर्तिः
Kirit,
his glories.
his glories.
Translation and purport by His Divine Grace A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada ki jai.
Jai.
The Lord's face was very beautiful, and
The
his head
Lord's face,
was very beautiful, and his head was decorated with a shining helmet and golden ornaments. The helmet was dazzling and was very beautifully situated on his head. The Lord had 8 arms, which each held a particular weapon. The Lord was surrounded by demigods, great sages, and other associates. These were all engaged in his service. Garuda, the carrier of the Lord, glorified the Lord with Vedic hymns by flapping his wings. Garuda appeared to be an inhabitant of the planet known as Kinnaraloka. Purport. Generally, the Vishnu form is manifested with 4 hands holding 4 objects: a conch shell, disc, club, and lotus flower. However, here Lord Vishnu is described as possessing 8 arms with 8 kinds of weapons. According to Veera Raghava Acharya, the conch shell and lotus flower are also accepted as weapons. Since the Lord is the supreme controller, whatever is in his hand can be considered as a weapon. 4 hands hold 4 kinds of weapons, and the extra 4 hands hold an arrow, bow, trident, and snake. Sri Veeraraghava Acharya describes the 8 weapons as Shankha, Chakra, Gada, Padma, Saranga, Sara, etc. A king is always accompanied by his ministers, secretaries, and commanders. And Lord Vishnu is also accompanied by his followers, the demigods, great sages, saintly persons, and so on. He is never alone. Consequently, there is no question of the Lord's being impersonal. He is always himself, the Supreme Personality of Godhead. And his associates are also persons. From the description given in this verse, Garuda appears to belong to the Kinnara planet. The inhabitants of the Kinnara planet have the same features as Garuda. Their bodily features are like those of a human being, but they have wings. The word Gita Kirtihi indicates that the inhabitants of Kinnara Loka are very expert in singing the glories of the Lord. In Brahma Samhita, it is said, Jagadanda Koti Swasesha Vasudati Vibhuti Bhinnam. In each and every universe, there are different types of planets, and each planet has distinctive features. On the strength of this verse, we can understand that in Kinnara Loka, the inhabitants can fly with their wings. There is also a planet known as Siddhaloka, where the inhabitants can fly even without wings. Thus, each and every planet has some distinctive facilities. That is the beauty of the varied creation of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Om Ajnanatimirandasya Gnananjana Salakaya Chakshurunmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha Sri Chaitanya Manobhishtam Stapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kadamayam Dadati Swapadantikam Vandeham Sri Guru Sri Vitapadakamalam Sri Gurun Vaisnavam Sacha Sri Rupam Sagrajatam Sahagana Raghunadhanvitam Tam Sajivam Sadvaitam Savadutam Parijana Sahitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Sri Radha Krishna Padan Sagana Lalita Sri Vishakam Sacha He Krishna Karuna Sindhu Deenabandho Jagatpate Gopesha Gopika Kanta Radha Kanta Namosute Tapta Kanchana Gaurangi Radhe Vrindavaneshwari Vrishabhanu Sute Devi Pranamami Hari Priye Vanchakalpatarubhyasya cha Krupa Sindhubhayeva cha Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha Jai Sri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Sri Advaita Gadadara Sri Vasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare Mukhaṁ karoti vācālam pangul langayate gurum Yatkrupa tamaham vande Shri Gurum Dhinataranam Paramananda Madhavam Sri Chaitanya Ishwaram. Hare Krishna. Actually, today's verse is all about glorifying the Supreme Lord, His form and His beauty. I was thinking, from any angle, I don't have any qualification to glorify, the Lord's beauty. But I'm here today to make an humble attempt by the blessings of my Guru and all the Guru Parampara and all the blessings of the devotees who are gathered here. With your blessings, I may like to glorify this verse and with the appropriate mind and mindset. We are actually reflecting on this beautiful verse where the Prachetas finally behold the beautiful form of Lord Vishnu. After performing severe austerities for thousands of years. After long tapasya and deep unity between all of them, and steady devotion, of course, the Lord did not merely send blessings from afar, right? He personally appeared before them. This verse describing the Lord's face is very beautiful, right? In Canto 3, there is a beautiful phrase, Snigdha Smitanugatim Vipula Prasadam. It describes the Lord's smile is so gentle and affectionate. A smile filled with unlimited grace. The moment a devotee simply thinks of that form, that beautiful face, that gentle smile, something happens internally, isn't it? All the agonies and anxieties begin to dissolve and the heart becomes at once lighter, right? Because that smile carries assurance. Assurance of, I'm here and you are under my protection. If we think a little bit deeper, the Lord's beautiful face, the beauty that can transform the heart. And we could see many examples from the Śrīmad-Bhāgavatam, especially in the case of Akrura, when he sees Krishna in Vrindavan. He was originally sent by Kamsa to bring Krishna to Mathura. Externally, he was on a political mission, but internally, he was longing for darshan of the Lord. The moment he saw Krishna and Balaram, he felt flat like a rod. His voice shocked and tears started to flow. He had heard about Krishna for years, but as soon as he's seeing Krishna, all his knowledge hearing about Krishna for years transformed into realization. And even in the case of Dhruva, and the same thing happens. Dhruva began with an ambition. He wanted a kingdom greater than his father's. But when Lord Vishnu appeared before him, Dhruva said, I was searching for broken glass, but I have found a priceless jewel. And that is the power of spiritual beauty. It replaces all the material desires. In Ramanujacharya's time, there was a beautiful pastime about a person whose heart was stolen away by the eyes. There once lived a man named, Dhanurdasa. He was a wealthy, strong, and known for his powerful physique. But more than his strength, he was known for something else. His deep, almost obsessive love for his wife, Vanachi. To him, she was the most beautiful woman in the world. Her eyes captivated him the most. He often would say, there is nothing in this universe more beautiful than her eyes. He could simply spend hours simply gazing at them and completely lost. One day, during a grand temple festival in Srirangam, the streets were filled with devotees. And the deities of the Lord Ranganath was being carried in procession. Conchs were blowing, drums were beating, and the lamps were shining. And everyone's eyes were fixed on the Lord. Everyone, except this Dhanurdasa. At the time, walking beside his wife, he was holding an umbrella carefully over her head. Not for himself, but to shield her eyes, delicate eyes, from the harsh sunlight. And instead of looking at Ranganath, Lord Ranganath, he was gazing at her with full attention, completely absorbed. And this scene was noticed by the great saint Ramanujacharya. Ramanuja observed quietly for a moment, and then he approached Dhanurdasa and asked gently, my dear man, why are you ignoring the Lord himself and staring at a woman as though nothing else exists? Do you not see the Supreme Lord passing before you? Dhanurdasa honestly replied without shame, I have never seen anything more beautiful than my wife's eyes. And why should I look elsewhere? Ramanuja did not scold him, but instead he smiled and said, if I show you eyes more beautiful than your wife's, will you look at them? Dhanurdasa was confident. If such beauty exists, yes, of course, I will certainly look. That evening, Ramanujacharya took him to a great temple in Srirangam. Yeah? And it was the time for the evening Aarti. Some of you may know, in Srirangam, during Aarti time, how it would be. The lamps flickered in the darkened room, and the fragrance of the incense filled all the air, isn't it? Yeah. And the bells started to ring softly, and the priests gently waved the lamps before the Lord Ranganath. Then Ramanuja leaned toward this Dhanurdasa and said, now look. For the first time, Dhanurdasa lifted his eyes and towards the deity. He saw the Lord reclining majestically, and then his gaze reached the Lord's eyes, lotus-like deep, compassionate. In that moment, something broke inside him. The beauty he saw was not ordinary. It was not physical. Compared to those eyes, everything else faded. And his tears began to flow, and the same intensity with which he had once gazed his wife's eyes was now drawn completely toward the Lord. He turned towards Ramanujacharya, overwhelming, and said, I have never seen such a beauty Forgive me and please accept me as your disciple. From that day onwards, Dhanurdasa surrendered himself fully. He became one of the Ramanujacharya's closest and most devoted disciples. And what did Ramanujacharya teach him? He did not say, stop loving his wife. He did not say, suppress your attraction. But instead, he told him, your intensity is not wrong. Your ability to focus is not wrong. But it is only misplaced. Transfer that same love and the same absorption towards the Supreme Personality of Godhead, Supreme Lord Ranganath. That's it. And the transformation changed Dhanurdasa forever. That is the power of spiritual beauty. Beauty that purifies desires and ultimately transforms the heart. Right? And the same was experienced by Prachetas, Akrura, and Dhruva. Their hearts melted and their eyes overwhelmed with tears of love. Mundane ambitions and desires lost all meaning. All they could see is simply they could long for it was the sweet, effulgent Lord. This sweetness is the reason bhakti is relational. Bhakti is relational. We are not just following rules. We are drawn into a personal, loving connection with the Lord. Right? So bhakti is not mechanical, it is reciprocal. It is reciprocal and relational. Here, the prachetas were not simply casual seekers. They performed austerities, chanted and meditated together with one purpose, to please the Lord. And eventually, the Lord responded personally. In Bhagavad Gita, Krishna says, Ye me etamam prapadyante tamstataiva bhajamyam. As they surrender unto me, I reciprocate accordingly. Reciprocation is the key word here. The word changes everything. Devotion is not a one-sided ritual. It is a relationship. Sometimes we wonder, I am chanting, but is there anyone really listening? But notice something important, the Lord appeared after perseverance, not after a few days or few years. There was patience. There was unity and determination. And Krishna even says about his devotees, Satatam kirtayanto mam, yatantasta drudavrata. Drudavrata, that determination, is what we see in the prachetas. Isn't it? Now, does that mean if we have the same determination, we will also see the Lord standing before us with 8 arms? Maybe. Not necessarily, because Darshana, Lord's Darshana is not only physical. because he is absolute. The Lord reveals himself in different stages. He says, Dadami buddhi yogantam yenamam upayantite. When the devotees worship me with love, he gives the understanding. What is that understanding? With which they can approach him. That is the revelation within the heart. We may begin to feel guided from within. Our decisions may become clearer, right? And chanting feels sweeter and less forced. And may service feels natural, not burdensome, right? So darshana not necessarily always has to be physical. So the message is clear for us. No sincere effort is wasted. Every sincere chanting, every small act of service, and every moment we choose humility over ego and personal agendas, it is noticed. In this verse, also mentioned, Lord carries weapons. Lord appeared before Prachetas holding 8 weapons: conch, disc, club, bow, arrow, trident, and serpent. Why is he holding weapons? Normally, weapons create fear, isn't it? But in his hands, they create safety. Krishna declares, Paritranaya sadhunam vinashaya cha dushkritam. He appears millennium after millennium to protect the devotees and to annihilate the miscreants. Right? His Sudarshan Chakra is not just a weapon. It represents the divine protection. The conch announces victory and auspiciousness. Even the lotus, soft and gentle, becomes spiritually powerful in his hand. His multiple arms show unlimited ability. He can manage countless universes and still personally protect a single devotee. Throughout the Bhagavatam, we can see many places where Lord personally protected his dear devotees. When Prachetas when Prahalada was threatened, Lord Narasimha appeared. When Gajendra cried helplessly, the Lord rushed to save him. When Draupadi lifted her hands in surrender, Krishna protected her honor. Sometimes protection is dramatic, and sometimes it is subtle. The verse also describes the Lord is surrounded by demigods, sages, Garuda, and all the celestial beings glorifying him. He is never alone. So, even in the Bhagavatam, in the canto, first canto, The absolute truth is described as fully cognizant and personal. We see him always interacting with devotees in Vaikuntha, with cowherd boys in Vrindavan, with queens in Dwaraka, right? There was one particular pastime that really shows how everything in this creation is drawn towards Krishna's love. Most of us know when Krishna was a little child, he started herding cows. His playful pastime in Vrindavan was so sweet and natural that even the demigods couldn't resist joining, isn't it? So the demigods themselves decided and wanted to take part in the Lord's service. The scriptures say that all the 33 crore demigods chose to take a place inside the cow, simply so that they could be near Krishna as he herded the cows and take part in all the pastimes in Vrindavan. Then Goddess Lakshmi, the goddess of wealth, came to join the Lord. She looked all around and saw that is, even the part of the cow was already occupied. Every part of the cow was already occupied by the demigods. Yet, humble and loving as ever, she accepted the only spot left, that is, the back of the cow. And as it turns out, that is the part actually the closest place to Krishna when he herding the cows, when he is herding the cows, right? So even in this simple pastime, Mother Lakshmi could fully participate in his service. This pastime is so beautiful because it shows two things. Krishna is always surrounded by his devotees, and devotion is not about status or position. Even the goddess of wealth was content to take the humblest spot just to serve and be near the Lord. Right? In the Bhagavad Gita, he says, Machitta Madgata Prana Bodhayanta cha Parasparam Kadayanta cha Mam Nityam Tushyante cha Ramante cha. My devotees derive great satisfaction, enlightening one another and conversing about me. Spiritual life is full of exchange, right? And that's what all the scriptures explain. Even practically, we know how the association shapes us. If we spend time with spiritually minded people, our association, our consciousness rises. If we immerse ourselves constantly in material influence, yes, our mind changes. So when we see the Lord surrounded by dear devotees, we should think, I wanted to be in that circle of service. And bhakti is preparing us for that eternal association. So all these descriptions about the beauty, glorifications about the Lord, beautiful face, shining ornaments, 8 arms, carrying all the weapons, devotees surrounding him. What does actually mean for us in our busy Monday to Friday life? This is all very high to contemplate every moment, at least in my case, for me. So I thought, let us bring it down to where we really live. The Lord has a beautiful personal form. So it says that our daily practice is a relationship, not a ritual. So all these beautiful descriptions confirming us again and again that Lord is a person. Because he is a person, our chanting is not a mechanical exercise. It is a conversation. That is why probably Prabhupada would often say, as soon as we pick up the beads, you are in association with Krishna and you are talking to Krishna. Think about it practically. If you send a message to someone whom you love, you speak differently than when you talk to a robot, isn't it? So, what is the difference? There is an emotion, intention. So, in our daily life also, when we chant, we can also think, let me call sincerely. When we cook, we can think, let me offer this sincere nicely. When we struggle, we can say, Krishna, please help me, guide me. And that is the relationship. He carries weapons. So what does it telling us? It tells us that we don't have to live in constant anxiety. In real life, we carry something invisible as well. Not so much of weapons like the Lord, but a lot of burden, stress, pressure, responsibilities, bills, deadlines, health issues, and whatnot. We often feel everything is depending on us. And probably that is why we may feel it is burden. Krishna says, Yoga Kshemam Vahamyaham. To those who are devoted to me, I carry what they lack and preserve what they have. And that's what he says. He carries all our burden. Just as he carries weapons to protect devotees, we can see him and his protection in our daily life in different ways. He may remove an attachment that we were struggling to get rid of. He may close a door that would have led into trouble for us. He may give us strength to face, to endure hardships without losing faith. Sometimes protection means not getting what we desperately wanted, because Lord sees further than we do. Think of a parent holding a child's hand. That's what I pretty much do every day when taking my 3-year-old child. While crossing the road, the child may not understand the traffic rules, but the parent does. So when we remember the Lord, that the Lord is protective, our anxiety reduces. We still work hard, but we don't have to carry the world on our shoulders. Right? And Prabhupada writes in this purport that each and every planet has some distinctive facility. And that is the beauty of the varied creation of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Sometimes we fear that spiritual life will become routine, same chanting. One of the Bhakti Vriksha members was asking a few weeks ago, why we chant the same mantra repeatedly and same prayers. Some may feel it is boring, isn't it? Because the people in this world need variety. But due to ignorance, we do not realize that devotion is dynamic. As our understanding grows, our appreciation grows. Once His Grace Shyamananda Prabhu mentioned, when I asked him, what is humility in his words? Humility means as your understanding grows by serving, reading Śrīmad-Bhāgavatam regularly and attentively, you will know how great Krishna is and how insignificant we are. And that is the real humility. And all this, and as our understanding grows, our appreciation grows. Because Krishna is a person, he is not an object. What kind of person? A person who has unlimited qualities. The 10th chapter of Bhagavad Gita, and it mentions Krishna's opulences, mountains, rivers, sages, and seasons. And there is no end to his divine manifestations. And if there is no end for him, and there is no end discovering him as well. Have we ever realized you read a verse from the Śrīmad-Bhāgavatam once, it means one thing, and 5 years down the track, the same verse, completely different impact. Why? What has changed? The same purport and translation was still there. It is the same content. Because we are changed. Our experiences, struggles, and maturity add layers of understanding. So, as our understanding grows, the appreciation of the verse, of the scriptures, of the Lord grows. So, what does it mean for us, all of this? It means we are not worshipping an abstract force. We are cultivating a relationship. We are not unprotected. The Lord's strength is supporting us always. We may know it or don't know it. We are not meant to walk alone. The Lord Himself is saying the association matters. And we are not simply following rules, or not just following rules. We are entering into a deeper joy. In a busy life full of noise, deadlines, and responsibilities, remembering the Lord's personal beauty makes bhakti warm and relational. Bhakti makes warm and relational. So, after long austerity, the Prachetas saw the Lord's face to face. And our path is also similar. Sincere chanting, service, and humility. And one day, by His mercy, Guru's mercy, the same beautiful Lord may reveal Himself in our hearts. So with that, I would like to stop here and open the forum. If anyone has any comments or questions or corrections.
That was such a lovely class, Prabhuji. Thank you so much. I don't have any questions, really. I just wanted to say I really appreciated your picking up on just those two key words around reciprocation and relationship. It was very beautifully put. So thank you very much, Prabhuji. Thank you for class. Haribol.
Yeah. Yeah, it's
Sorry?
sometimes, sorry, Mat. Yeah, please
No,
go
no,
on.
it's all right. Prabhuji, go ahead.
Yeah, so after I was, of course, when I was preparing for this verse, I was contemplating that, this bhakti is actually simple, yeah. And when we actually look at it at its heart, it's a genuine emotion. But it's quite interesting that we complicate it, we analyze it, we strategize, compare, and measure, and try different techniques, methods, and we run here and there and trying to achieve devotion, right? And hopefully only by the Lord's mercy, Guru's mercy, we could only get that mood for that honest cry. Yeah, please go on, Kadamani Mataji.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji, very nice class. I was just thinking, listening to your class, that Krishna is never alone. Krishna is always associated with his devotees. And we see the pastimes of Lord Krishna in Vrindavan. And he's always surrounded by his cowherd boys and his cows all over. So Krishna is there. So when we think of Krishna, we don't just think of Krishna alone. And that means that Krishna is always with his devotees. So we also see that when we are worshipping Krishna, it's not just only worshipping Krishna. Krishna says that we worship his devotees, and the best service is to the Vaishnavas. So sometimes we forget, when we concentrate worshipping Krishna, that his devotees have topmost position, the Vaishnavas. So Vaishnava Seva is the highest Seva we should be doing. I just wanted to, emphasize that. Thank you very much, Prabhuji. Very beautiful class, and all the stories associated with Hare Krishna.
Yes. Even in the couple of weeks, some of you may know, in the recent Kirtan Mela in Mayapur, yeah, it was proved again and again. The Lord is a person, yeah. He was not a piece of metal. And the devotees and everyone could see tears flowing from Panchatattva. So, yeah, it was a nice reminder that he is a person. Any other realizations or comments? So if nothing else, and I would stop here. Gandhara Śrīmad-Bhāgavatam ki jai. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. All the
Jai.
listed assembled.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
His Grace Sivapati Gaurachandra Das Prabhu ki jai.
Jai.
Gaura Bhakta Vrinda ki jai. Hari Bol.